go, baby. We all the way on the fourth row, baby. Yeah. You look good in that silver and black. Talk about the game, so I'll be handing out cards and everything. I'll be at every Raider game. So. Raider Nation. Yo, Raider Nation, you already know what time it is. It's your boy back in the building, and you are now tuned in to the Ultimate Raider Fan 32 show. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Can everybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? I want to make sure that my levels are good. You know, sometimes Turf always struggle streaming. Shout out to the lead attorney. I don't know if y'all know anything about that. You know, these YouTube streets, I tend to steal all kinds of sayings from people, and I like to give homage, right? So, struggle streaming, that's his thing. And y'all know I have audio struggle. So, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. You know what I'm saying? Before I get into it. If you cannot, please tap in. Let me know through that chat. But I'm jumping right into my monologue. Now listen, tonight is a big show because we're breaking it all down. Draft talk, check. Free agency, we definitely got some drama there. Roster moves, strap in. And of course, we got to talk about all the madness swirling around the Raiders front office, plus the latest gossip and social media chatter. That's got the nation buzzing. And y'all already know, we always check in with the chat. You know what I'm saying? Chat lives matter. So I'm just going to immediately acknowledge because y'all looking out for your boy. Billy D in the building. Shout out Billy Davis. What up, Turk? Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Tyler A in the building. Really good. There we go. And last but not least, Pokemon and football lover, Andrew can't fit through the door, T. Hey, we got you, bro. Never seen you before. Appreciate you for coming through, showing up. Hope you enjoy the show. All right, but that ain't even the best part, right? Tonight, y'all already know. We got a special guest. You already know her. You love her. The one and only Peggy Holmes is back with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to pick her brain on all things Raiders, from who we need to grab in the draft, the latest shakeups, the organization. Sit back, grab your drink, get your popcorn, let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? So front office shakeup, who's really running the show? All right, start at the top. If you haven't been paying attention, it's not the same old Raiders front office. Nah, we got some major power moves happening. You guys already know. Spytech is the GM. You know what I'm saying? Dude's been tied to Tom Brady since the Tampa Bay days, so best believe Tom is pulling some strings. He's definitely pulling some strings here. And the biggest wild card we got, craziness. 73-year-old Pete. Not everybody's feeling him, but don't sleep on Pete, man. If nothing else, he's going to bring discipline, energy, and a defensive mindset that our team desperately needs. But the real question is, can he make this work in Vegas? That's what we're going to find out real soon. So, let's get into the meat and potatoes. What the hell is happening with the roster? Because right now we got more questions than answers. Start with the quarterback situation. Aiden O'Connell, is he still here? But is he really the guy? Rumors flying around about Aaron Rodgers might be on the radar after the Jets let him go. Y'all buying that? I mean, let's not forget about Russell Wilson. Just became available, right? No longer with the Steelers. You want Russ in Vegas? Still got the NFL draft coming up. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if the Raiders trade up for a young gun. That I'll be a little upset about. You already know. We're going to talk about all this. And, the defensive situation. Biggest buzz, Max Crosby. Bro been dropping cryptic messages on social media. Now the rumor mill is spinning that he might want out. I doubt it. We cannot afford to lose Max. But if the front office is smart, they'll lock him up long term and keep this man happy. You know how it goes in this league. And let's not forget, we got major holes in this O-line, secondary and linebacking core. So front office better be active in free agency this year if we want to compete. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's just time to get it on and cracking. Miss Peggy's in the building. How you doing, Miss Peggy?
I'm doing great. And I want to start you right off. I'm so glad you recapped. It is a wonderful recap. Let's start right off with that front office situation.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. I mean, we have a New England snake in the house. I want to put that disclaimer in right now. There is nothing anyone from New England can do to dress up their image, reform them in my mind. That organization ran such shadiness for decades.
I agree.
You know what kind of environment. But I want to talk about the organizational model, Mr. Crump.
That's
Here
good.
you have, we have seen it over and over again. It has never worked for us.
Nope.
Mackenzie Del Rio, Gruden, Mayock, Ziegler, McDaniels. What did you see? You saw an imbalance of power. What is the function and role of a GM in an organization?
Right.
Not to go get Starbucks for everybody in the room, okay? With caramel syrup. The role of a GM is a check and balance on the power and decisions of the head coach.
Yep.
Had we had that with Mackenzie and Del Rio, no way Bill Musgrave goes.
No.
Okay?
I agree.
Had we had that with Gruden and Mayock, no way Buckner, the D-line coach, gets fired so Rob Marinelli could stroll up in the house and we fall 12 positions down in our sacks and D-line efficiency. I mean, that is the purpose. GM's purpose is not only to draft,
right,
free agency,
right,
look cute in the photos, but it's also to check the power and decision making of the coach. And once again, we've got another imbalance.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a coach that is heavier, has more longer, deeper experience than the GM. Now, it just started. We don't know his work. I think it was a bad move to get rid of Telesco, but I understand it. Okay?
Right.
This thing, we also got our guy, what's his name? The other assistant GM. He also was invited to leave. What was his name?
Champ Kelly's gone. Yeah, he's out of there.
Everybody wanted him. Yeah, they wanted him to get promoted. But you see, people got to understand the Raiders. The Raiders are one of those organizations. They keep people around for a reason. And when you served your purpose, you can go now.
There you go.
People don't understand that about the Raiders. You could stay there 25, 30 years.
Right.
But you stay in the same position. You serve a purpose. You don't get promoted.
Right. That has been. Yeah, it's been our motto. It's been our mantra, really. And I'm hoping that these things change, right? I'm hoping things clear up. I really believe the connection that Pete Carroll has with the players can take care of a little bit of that, those issues we have. Last night we were talking about how Jack Jones is going to vibe with Mr. Pete Carroll. Is that going to work? Because we know he started unraveling with AP, who I thought was the only one that could, but when you think about Pete Carroll, he is like the epitome of the players coach. So we got a lot to to handle in the front office.
That's a situation. The model of the head coach having more power than the GM. These wannabe first time, never been GMs.
Correct.
They deliberately keep them weak so they can dominate them.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's never worked for us.
Nope.
I don't care how you spin it, put it, that particular model. And think about the model itself all over the NFL, right?
Right.
Where we had Holmgren running, Seattle, where we had Bill Parcells going down to, Dallas, trying to run that, where we had Joe Gibbs running it with the Redskins. It never works. You have to have independence between your GM
and your
head coach. And look at all the success, Mr. Crump, look at all the successful organizations. The Rams, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, even the Eagles. What do they have? Total, complete separation of the GM and head coaching function.
Absolutely. And I believe those GMs are responsible for those coaching staffs, whether it be they individually handpick the head coaches themselves and coordinators, or, they are the ones that, give the final, nod on absolutely signing what somebody wants. I don't think that it should come from the head coach. I always thought that was an issue. I mean, why have a general manager if he's not the one making final decisions? We all know you can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. I mean, this goes for any corporation, business, job. Somebody has to be the head. Somebody has to make decisions, and they have to hang their hat on it and be held accountable. Otherwise, you get what we just had. It's like, is AP the dude or is he not? Is it Telesco running it or is he not? And it never works, like you said. It just doesn't work.
If you don't have that balance of power, what you have is a head coach running your organization.
Yep.
And that just doesn't work anywhere where it's successful. But I want to move right on. I'm so happy today. I had a drink and toasted myself the day that poor little Pete Carroll had mercy on us, answered the phone and said, yes, I will come rescue this organization. And that day, I compared it to Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
1968 hired Vince Lombardi.
Yes. I actually remember that just from history.
And it changed the entire direction of the Washington Redskins franchise. Because if you'll remember, the Redskins in the 50s and 60s, I mean, I don't even know whether you could call them losers or winners. They certainly had Hall of Famers.
Oh, absolutely. They had one of my favorite running backs, John Riggins. I actually ran more like John Riggins than I did Marcus Allen, my favorite. So,
well, I'm talking about in the 60s.
No, I know that's
Lombardi.
Yeah, he's way
Jurgensen, Charlie Taylor, all the great Jerry Smith. Of course, you have to be here. What? Chris Hamburger. I mean, but what happened when Lombardi got there? He changed the entire outlook, right? They went on to get George Allen, right? George Allen came, and then later, after Jack Pardee, Joe Gibbs.
Yep.
It changed the entire trajectory, and I think this is what Pete can do for us. I really do.
I agree.
He's a smart guy. He's a strategist, and I heard you mention about Jack Jones, which we will get to.
Yes.
But not only is Pete a player's coach, but the decision to hire Pete has got to be good news for the players.
Right.
100%. Because stability, integrity, we have somebody who you can trust. If he says you can play this position in this alignment, in this system, you trust what he says.
Right. Absolutely.
Been a long time since we had that kind of coach, right?
A very long time. I mean, Pete Carroll is a gem. I mean, I think a lot of people, jump the gun, with his age and calling him out in that respect. I think
So you don't like archaeology, you don't like fossils. Okay, I get it, But that's not even it. The breadth of experience. The Raiders need him like the Redskins needed Lombardi in 1968. I'm telling you, one guy can change the future course of an entire. You don't need to stay here long. You can go out and hire a young buck after he's righted the ship. There are fundamental things that have to change about the Raiders. The way they operate.
Bingo.
The way they think. The way they talk to each other. Even to the way they pour the Gatorade in the cup on the sideline.
The way they treat the families. The way they,
the players.
If they would just do like they do the alumni across the board, it would be game over. It would be game over.
You have to change terminology. You have to change the coaching system. We need to think on a much higher level when we talk about what Pete Carroll has to do to this organization. There's so much he has to change about us in order to get us into that orientation. And the people up in Seattle know what he did for them. Before he came, they were a losing franchise. Afterwards, they're not anymore. Okay? And the Seattle Seahawks, they struggled. Not quite, They had the great Chuck Knox, right, for a little while. He got close, but
no cigar. Exactly right.
He put him over the top, okay? He changed the way that organization looked at football, how they played it, how they thought about it, how they dealt with it. And Pete's going to do that for us. We need that. Mr. Crump, how bad do we need that?
We need that big time. It's everything right now, to be honest. It's the only way we're going to get this thing turned around and for it to make sense, right? And get out of this hole, because we're just in such a hole over these last 20 years, from Al drafting the fastest thing in draft, him being senile, and then Mark trying to, having his growing pains and realizing, I just need to get out of the way. It's been tough. It's been real tough.
And then let me say this too. Every organization needs a chopper. Where would New England be without Bill Belichick arrival?
Jeez.
Where would the Kansas City Chiefs without the arrival of Andy Reid? Where were the Rams before McVay got there?
Right.
Every organization has that guy, okay, who comes on the scene, and I'm hoping that's for us another bonus of having a fossilized remains as our coach for all you people you Madden junkies that click, oh, it's Pete. It's Pete when he was 50. For all you Madden junkies that don't like to see old people, another benefit he brings us, when Pete calls, people pick up the phone.
Yep. Absolutely.
Who picked up the phone? Chip Kelly.
That's
huge. That had just won a national championship. Come on.
That's huge. And right, where some people are still from the show me state with Chip. Chip as an offensive coordinator, I'm ecstatic with. I'm happy. I love it.
See the offensive stats. He made Nick Foles into a quarterback, and we'll get to this later.
Sure did.
Which is why Aiden should be quite happy. Okay? Remember when Nick Foles came to Oakland and threw 7 touchdowns on us, toasted DJ Hayden so bad that the boy was never seen and heard from again.
Hayden, that's our old school name too. I remember that.
You got to understand, Chip Kelly has an offensive mind on another level.
Yes.
A level that we, again, have not seen with our Raiders in a long time. Maybe at Gruden's level, but as I commented about Gruden's problem is that him as head coach, He had a one-track mind.
Correct. No, I agree.
And he paid no attention to defense. Okay?
None. He left it up to the coordinator. Honestly.
And that was unfortunate. He was no Rich Pettibone, okay?
Not even close.
Gunther wasn't needed. But that's what I'm talking about. Having Pete Carroll means people answer the phone, and I hope that includes free agents.
Bingo! Real quick before we jump into that, because that is huge. Raiders Fool Chris is in the building. Turf, what's good, bro? Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Gunsmoke is always coming through. Salute, Billy. But I like what Gunsmoke says here. I guess you could say owner is commander-in-chief, really. And that's true. And that's why it was very important for Mark to let go of the reins, back up, right? And let these people do their job. You hired them for a reason. Let them do their job. Owners are the generals. GM is the full bird colonel. Coaching staff is the majors, and the quarterback is the captain. Gunsmoke, you are so on point with all of that. So on
Chain
point.
of command. That's correct.
And you have to have it. You have to have a chain of command.
It's all the successful NFL organizations are run that way. There is a clear pecking order.
100%.
Head coach don't come before GM.
No, not at all. Not at all. Billy Davis in the building. No Rodgers or Russell. Trust me, Billy D. None of us want either of those people. I don't think there's a single Raider fan that would want any of those two to come into the building. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that at all. Term. I don't know who Term is, but Jesus would have been a lockdown corner. I would have to agree. You suck, Term. Yeah, interesting picture. But I appreciate you for showing up, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Very nice. Thank you. And I want to go right to the job that Chip Kelly has. Yeah. I mean, we could not have hired a better subject matter expert. Okay?
I have to agree.
Please stop playing your man game and pulling up when he was coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Right. They had Trent Baalke there. Who can coach with Trent Baalke in the building? The guy is a virus, okay? Right. Cancer. So let's not compare that Chip Kelly or even the Eagles, let's take it, because who in their right mind gives a first-time NFL coach both GM and head coaching authority? He'll know nothing about the NFL.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Once again, as we said at the top of the show, that coach as GM model, it just doesn't work.
Right.
Okay? And that's what I'm keep pointing out. But let's talk about the job that Chip. Mr. Crump, I want to start right in that quarterback room.
Yeah.
And I also want to remark, this is the hardest mock draft I have had in 15 years. Do I trade up from 6 or do I stay at 6 and wait for Santa Claus to drop something at my door?
All right. Or do you trade down?
Exactly. This is the hardest draft because I'm still in limbo. You got to help me out, and all of you out there have to help us out. Why do we need to trade number 6 to get a quarterback?
I know. Yeah, and that's the problem. What are we going to have to give up?
You see, I can sit at 6 like a spider and just wait for my phone to ring.
There you go.
And if it doesn't ring, I can pick up Dart. Or I can pick up that boy from Notre Dame, Riley.
Ooh.
I can pick up one of the other quarterbacks that they are not talking about in this draft, and they should be talking about.
Yes.
Instead of always talking about Shedeur and Cam.
Correct.
As if they were only 2 quarterbacks in the universe. Come on now.
And we know that there are going to be some quarterbacks that rise up after pro days, right? All those good things. There are a lot of guys that have some some good runway as far as people already buzzing. The kid from Syracuse, right? You got the kid from Indiana. There's a few sleepers that if they have great pro days, who knows?
And this goes back to the skill set of your GM. I'd have trusted Telesco to make that kind of judgment more than I trust the guy that they got in there now.
Yeah, and that is a very interesting situation, because if you look at what Spytek did for the Buccaneers, you can't deny he's got talent, right?
Wait a minute. Hold up. He was an assistant GM. He was not the GM. He wasn't the guy.
That's true.
No, you as an assistant GM, you bring your boss lists.
Right.
You scout. You huddle with your scouting team. You manage your scout team. You do not make the executive decisions.
No, you absolutely do not. You're right.
Spytek has never done this.
He hasn't, but he's always gotten good talent. Now, can I say he's a Tom Telesco?
No, he's always bought talent, and the GM picked from his list.
Right.
That's as an assistant GM, you are not the guy that makes the decisions.
Correct. No, you're absolutely right. And in fact, you learn from the guy that makes the decisions based on the information that was given. Who was
the command again?
No, you're absolutely right, and that's why we love having this Peggy on here.
I mean, we need to get all this straight. Spytek ain't done nothing. This is his first draft.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. Connected is in the building. Shout out to Connected. Give Pete and John the keys to the ship. I bet you they steer us in the right direction. And last but not only least, it's some quarterbacks out there. Everybody's just stuck on the two people that you keep hearing about.
No, that's why but Mr. Crump, you got to help me out. Yeah. What do we do with AOC, who has never ever had the proper opportunity to grow as a normal quarterback does? Or is he too damaged? Don't tell me about his limited skill set. You don't know anything from a guy who's had 4 OCs in 2 years.
I couldn't agree with you more. Everybody knows that I love AOC. I'm not done with him. And I've already said that I wouldn't be mad if he was our bridge quarterback, right? I mean...
But why bridge? Look what Kelly did with Nick Foles. He didn't design him as a bridge.
Yes, and Nick Foles is not a runner. Nick Foles could not move. No, you're right.
And by the way, he has a ring. And by the way, when Foles went to other teams, he couldn't function, could he?
No. You are absolutely right. That was a lot of Chip.
Chip designed an offense just for him. The man's a genius.
Yeah.
And this is what you can tell the difference between the okay coaches and the genius coaches. Right. A genius coach can look at a player's skill set and design an offense for him.
Absolutely.
The others, they just bring their system in and they say, okay, play in my system.
Exactly. And it never works. And then they wonder why. And then they wonder why.
Look, I believe that AOC, if Kelly tells me, AOC's not the guy.
Right.
Take his word for it.
Yes, absolutely. You have to. I mean, at this point, he's earned the right and respect to pick and choose quarterbacks, which leads me to that next one that we haven't discussed, which is his quarterback from Ohio State. We know he's going to be available in the second, third round. We know it.
I hear you, Mr. Crump. I mean, but again, I certainly feel more comfortable putting things in his hands than Luke Getsy.
Right.
Scott Turner.
Absolutely.
I mean, some of the bums we've had. McDaniels. I mean, the list of offensive coordinators, they have destroyed our offense, which moves me right on to which I should have mentioned first for all of you guys out there where Mr. Crump and I are breaking this down. The O-line. I mean, we shouldn't even have talked about quarterback without talking about O-line. And the question is free agency or the draft.
Right.
You need immediate improvement, Mr. Crump. And I don't know what everybody's sticking out there dreaming. I just want to sneak into Quentin Nelson's house, just drug him and drag him off. Okay? I want to go up to Philly, take that guard from Becton, right?
Hey.
Slip him a Mickey and drag him off and sign him up.
Yes.
Situation is solved.
I couldn't agree more. And you're hitting the sweet spots. We need guards. We need guards.
Oh my God.
We need guards.
You can't run the football, you know immediately it's a guard problem. There's no question about it. In addition, we could not protect the quarterback.
No.
It was a double whammy. And that goes to my third need. I am sorry for all of you Colton Miller fans. He got to go.
Tell me. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Everybody.
Say it louder for the people in the back. I have been constantly talking about how this man, we should have gotten rid of him when we had a chance to get high. You know what I'm saying? Capital, etc. for him. Now we'll be lucky for what we get.
And we're stuck with the end of a contract with him to boot. It will be lucky to trade him on draft day. The problem with Colton Miller is he's lost his upper body strength. He's lost leverage. He was overpowered every single game. Not out, cut or speed around.
No, it was straight up just.
He was just mono a mono. You cannot have a left tackle that is overpowered, and it never got better. Game after game after game, I believe he's lost something physically, and I'm terribly sorry, but he gotta go. Okay?
You are absolutely in what he's lost. Exactly what I said was gonna happen. As soon as the shoulder got good, something else that he had been compensating for got bad. I mean, it was very obvious, like you said. He wasn't healthy. He was nowhere close to being healthy.
And he's not going to get better. You guys think, give him an off season. Well, we did give him an off season, didn't we? I mean, he had the 24 off season. Now you want me to give him another off? I'm sorry. That's your left tackle.
That's it. That's it.
You do not play with that position.
You can't.
You must upgrade. And of course, since we got bank, right? I'm going right to the free agency market. I'm going to free agency. You see, the Raiders can't afford, and neither can Chip Kelly's offense. If anybody has seen films of Chip Kelly's offense, that offensive line is crucial.
It is.
Who doesn't know that? I believe one of AP's main mistakes is not understanding how crucial having a good O-line. You're done. I don't need an O-line in training. I need immediate upgrade.
Absolutely. Right away. Exactly. And that's where we need to spend that cash. We need to spend that cash big time. Trap God is in the building. What's cracking, Trap God? Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show like always, and you always have great input. I like how they hold their cards close as far as the draft. We remember what happened last year. It was clear AP wanted to move up to get Jaden Daniels. Trap God, man, that's why I love when you come through and talk that talk, man. Another great comment. Does Andre James move to guard, or are we shipping him out next day delivery?
Everybody out of the pool. Y'all just don't understand. That line had no chemistry
at all
whatsoever.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. They couldn't cover blitzes. They couldn't. There was so much that they couldn't run block. They couldn't run block.
They couldn't even get the confidence by run blocking. You know what I mean? And that's where you get confidence as an offensive line, is by mauling people in the run game. And they couldn't get that right.
James goes.
North Sac native. I didn't see you in there. He laughing at us with AOC. North Sac native.
I mean, maybe, somebody give me a case, but see, this is where it's crucial to have the fossils, Carroll and Kelly, around. I trust if they tell me so-and-so, we're going to keep him, but we're going to get rid of them.
Right.
Because they know what they need. They know what the priority is. You cannot have an offense without an offensive line.
Correct.
Guys, let's not forget this line allowed one quarterback to be injured twice and one quarterback to be injured for the season.
Ouch.
I mean, you can't get any worse as an O-line. 2 quarterbacks hurt. And I knew they were going to get somebody killed. I knew they were. It was just a matter of time.
Absolutely.
They were overpowered. So I want to go to free agency. Like I said, I've already kidnapped. Don't tell the FBI, but I already kidnapped Benton and Nelson, and now they play for us. We done solved our God problem, okay?
100%.
But I trust, Mr. Crump, don't you trust Kelly to get out there and Carroll to beat the Bushes, even the free UFAs, to find us some guys?
Yeah, I think it comes from Pete Carroll. I think this is where Pete Carroll is the master plan man. He's the one that can really get in these players' heads. I guarantee he probably does all the right things. Like, he's got all the people around him that can influence, right? Mm-hmm. And they love him. They love him with that. There's not a single player I've ever heard talk bad about Pete Carroll. I mean, we got beast mode. Who knows what role he's going to play on this team? I mean, you already heard him yelling Raiders while Pete was giving his speech. I mean, I heard Tim Brown is coming back. I heard he's actually going to be on staff and have a role for wide receivers. I mean,
about time Edgar Bennett was shown the door. I mean, he survived so many regimes. But see, I want to take a situation. If you want to know what kind of guy Pete is, Rashad Penny. And I don't know whether you remember him.
I absolutely do.
Running back, drafted, couldn't stay healthy to save his life.
Nope.
And yet, every year, Pete kept him on the roster. Pete invited him to his house. He kept giving that young man confidence.
Right.
And finally, Rashad stayed healthy.
He did. And then he had a hell of a year. He had a hell of a year for himself.
Right. I mean, Pete's patient like that. He works with players. He understands the effect of injury on a player's confidence, on the entire offense. Again, Pete's a thinking man.
Correct.
He knows, and I don't care how old he is, he still is a guy that thinks deeply about the game. Yep. So I want to go right to the running back room.
Uh-oh. Yeah, let's talk about it. You know that's my specialty.
What are we going to do? I mean, Abdullah, what you do with him?
I think you absolutely keep him. And the reason you keep him is because you are going to get 2 rookie running backs in this draft class. This draft is by far the best draft for running backs that I have ever seen in my lifetime.
That's what everybody's saying. And you don't need, what about going out to get a Najee or even picking up a Chubb?
I wouldn't be mad at Chubb. For whatever reason, I don't know. I guess Najee Harris stole my lunch money. I don't know. I just don't like it.
No, read my lips, Alabama boy.
Yeah.
Alabama players like the Amari Coopers of the world are guys, and the Jacobs, I'm going to say it out loud, the Josh Jacobs of the world.
Uh-oh.
They give you just enough so that you think it's good, but they never give you 100%.
Right.
They take games off. They're prima donnas. They think it's all about them and how they feel. And I'm not going to say it's universal, but most of those Alabama guys, they don't give you 100%. They never do.
It is.
They're just not self-motivated. And they're capable of so much more. That's why you think Pittsburgh gave up on Najee.
Yes, they did. They sure did. And they started leaning on Warren. They started leaning on a lot of different, situations when it came to trying to get that running game going, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know the numbers on Najee Harris, so I can't really speak too much. It's just I never
It
liked
was just enough
No.
so you keep him on the roster, but you never saw that burst, that moving up to the next.
Thank you. I didn't see that either. I don't know why people like him. I don't.
Again, it's the way they think down there in Alabama. I mean, I'm a star. I've already made it. I'm getting paid. That's how they think.
Yeah.
What is Amari on his 4th team now?
Nice.
He done wind his way through 3 teams.
Crazy.
That's Alabama boys. I mean, that's how they are. And that's what you're feeling, and you don't know why. They give you just enough.
Right. Just
They're
enough.
never gonna go, but they're not gonna put themselves out for you.
Nope.
Why? That's the attitude that they bring to the game. They never give you 100% every single play.
Right.
They're not those kind of guys. Okay?
I don't disagree with you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't disagree. I mean, I was never an Amari Cooper fan either. I don't think he did a great job for us. I mean,
so you just said when you said to me the running back rich draft, which I have heard about.
Oh,
of course, they're not going to. We'll get to another show to talk about exactly where you picked those running backs,
right?
Because it ain't going to be 1st and 2nd round.
Absolutely
okay?
not.
You have bigger needs, maybe not even 3rd
round. It'll be the 2nd, 3rd round pick. Exactly. If we use it in the 3rd, it'll be the 2nd, 3rd round pick.
But I assume that means that McCormick and Zamir are gone.
See, hold on.
I thought I heard you say
it. I know. My guy's in the building. That's Kyle Picker. Hey, salute Turf. Been a minute. And then obviously we got Eric Raiders Haters Hunter in the building saying salute nation. And my main man, Angelo Reyes, Raider Transplant. Salute nation, Miss Peggy and Turf. Salute to the chat. So I just want to make sure I got that out there. I absolutely, I adore this running back class like no other. I want to have a whole show on. You know what? I am going to have a whole show and just.
No, you can do it. They tell me that you can do it, but in saying that, you're telling me Sincere,
yes,
Madison, and Zamir are gone.
I'll put it to you this way, and it was a shocker to a lot of people last night. If I had to choose between keeping Abdullah or
Kevin Falk, go ahead.
Yeah, or keeping my guy Sincere, who I adore and think he's going to be a talent, I would pick Abdullah. And the reason being is because you can't substitute for experience.
Versatility.
Exactly, because he can play in multiple situations and in special teams, which he gives you like a 3-for-1. You know what I mean? He can come in as your 3rd down back. He's the only 100-yard running back we had last year. He can come in as your every down back. And then he can play all positions in special teams as far as the skill position. Gunner, right? He can kick return. It's so much he can do, and he still got it. So I would have to get rid of McCormick if I could only keep one. But I believe we will have a 5 running back room. I think we'll have 5 deep. And I think it starts with those two. I think we get a couple in the draft, and I think we get another veteran out in free agency, and that's our running back room. We've always kept 5, right? I'm pretty sure that's what we've always kept.
I don't have, again, this is another situation where I got to trust Pete and Chip's judgment on that. They know in their heads what kind of offense they want to build. And let me emphasize build from the ground up, because we have no offense. No. Okay? After McDaniels left, he never left but ashes, right?
He gutted it. He absolutely gutted. He gutted our offense.
I mean, from the quarterback down, he ripped everything out by the roots. So now we have the subject matter experts in here working on it. And now I want to go right to wide receiver. Listen to me carefully, Mr. Crump.
Okay.
I mean a true number one field stretching.
Yes.
What demands double coverage.
Yes.
And people game plan for. Okay, you had one in here in Adams, he's gone.
Right.
If you look at Chip Kelly's offenses, he's got one up top. He's a three-dimensional guy.
Correct.
He's always got a guy running a route up top, a guy running an intermediate route, and then a guy running across the middle.
Exactly.
Okay? He's got two of those people. He's got Myers and Bowers.
Correct.
The team underneath. But he don't got that up top.
The stretch. He don't have that stretch. We tried to give Tucker that chance. Didn't work out.
I mean, we kept him around too. Once again, teams that haven't won championships in a long time is because of the little things.
Absolutely.
Why would you keep a guy like Bennett around? I kept saying over and over again, why are my two young guys, Turner and Tucker, making zero progress?
Right.
Zero.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't judge you by how well you did with Renfro and that other boy that went to the Giants and retired. I forgot his Waller. I mean, I judge you. Can you take a project and turn him into a top professional wide receiver? The first thing that people keep telling me is Tucker and Turner they're too small. They need to be in the slot. Okay? And see, Chip would have recognized that.
Correct.
You use that speed in the slot.
Correct.
Okay? But that still leaves us with a problem, Mr. Crump.
It does.
And I'm hoping our audience out there can help. You need to ponder this. Don't tell me about the draft. Remember, I had 5 criteria, and a rookie don't fit 3 of them. Okay?
Yep.
I need somebody that causes fear in the heart of the opposing defense. Yes. A rookie is not going to do that until he gets a rep.
Correct.
Which God knows how long that might take. I was talking to some of my Atlanta Falcon buddies. They have a wide receiver called Drake London. The best wide receiver that nobody knows anything about.
Yeah, I remember.
I keep telling you, rep means something.
Yes.
If nothing, how you play design and put them as decoys. You have them going deep. They're going to take a safety with them.
Yep.
That leaves a hole, a space, a recently vacated area.
Yep.
That you can put a Bowers into, or you can put a Myers into. I mean, that's the sophistication that I need my offensive coordinator to think on. That's the level of thinking when you're designing plays. But we don't have that guy.
Nah, we don't. You are absolutely right. My main man, Gravy, is in the building. Shout out to Gravy. Salute to the panel and the chat. We got a couple of questions here, so we got to make sure we get these in. And Raider Angelo transplant. Raider transplant Angelo. Turk, I still believe Jacoby Myers can be a WR1. You really believe he can be a wide receiver 1 if given that opportunity to be the target? But those are going to be Brock Bowers now. I disagree. I don't see Jacoby being a solid 1 at all. I think he's struggling to be a solid 2.
But really, how can you evaluate? And this is important for people who are really looking for answers. You cannot evaluate the play of any of these guys because of the coaching staff, the instability, the constant changing of playbook terminology.
Right.
system. You cannot judge what they're capable of. This is why I'm so excited about Chip Kelly in the house.
Yep.
Okay? He's going to put a solid system in that fits the players.
I agree. That's why I hope he's learned that he's not head coach material, but this is his thing. This is his gift.
We never talked about him as head coach. I don't know why these people got PTSD. I mean, I already told you that the Eagles are dumb as rocks for giving a first-time head coach both GM and head coaches. That was the dumbest move in history of creation of mankind. And then in San Francisco, he had to work with Trent Baalke.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Mr. Poison.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy chased Harbaugh back to college, did he not?
Yes. Absolutely. 100%.
Went from a Super Bowl team to 2-14.
In 2 years. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So stop talking about Chip Kelly as if we cared about what his personality is. Go design an offense for us around the players we have, and let's win some games.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
I want him to bring his expertise and make it work for us. Yes. Because Lord knows we need it. And you said there were other questions out here, but I wanted to add one more thing. Yeah. There's just one other person that I want to, slip a little Mickey in his little drink, put him on a plane and drag him here, and that's DK Metcalf.
Hey, I would take DK Metcalf all day.
My number one wide receiver question. There's not many of them out here. Has anybody looked at the free agent list for wide receivers? Oh my God,
it's not pretty. So Angelo actually had a comment here. And again, man, Angelo, you and I are not syncing up tonight, brother. There are plenty of wide receivers in the draft this year. It's deep. Tez Johnson, for example, could be a steal in the 3rd round, and he's like an Xavier Worthy. I don't think that this draft is deep of wide receivers. I mean, it has a few, absolutely, but I don't think it's deep. For instance, it's not even close to the running backs or the defensive line or defensive talent. There's just a plethora of both of those. I don't see the same thing in wide receivers at all. And in fact, the best wide receiver that we could get at 6 won't stretch the field for us like Peggy is saying we need, right? And that's the kid T-Mac McMillan from Arizona. Don't get me wrong. I would take him yesterday at number 6. The last time we picked 6 and got a wide receiver, his name was Tim Brown. So I believe in history repeating itself. I'd take a risk on that particular situation, but he's not going to stretch the field.
This is what I'm trying. And why did I just waste my breath talking about? This is a Chip Kelly signature offensive system. It doesn't work without that guy who's running up top routes, right? Flies and whatnot, posts and whatnot if he needs them to. Yes. And oh, by the way, we haven't even begun to explore the slot.
Nope.
But let's talk about what Chip Kelly's offense needs. I said he has to be feared. He has to draw the double team coverage. He has to draw that safety away because he has to vacate space for what I want to do in my play design. And they have to game plan for him. A rookie will never, ever, ever get there. Not in his first year.
Nope.
Not even in his second year if he's not any good. I don't care who he is. That's what I said. I'm just going to have to drug DK and drag him on the plane. And just, we have to find people that fit the new offensive scheme that's built here.
Right.
We need a number one that people fear. You got to get them to draw that coverage.
Angelo thinks that T-Mac can do it.
No.
Jamar Chase runs a sub 4 440. JJ did it. CD Lamb. These guys are all sub 4.4 guys, man. I don't think T Mac runs higher than a high 4.5. He's not that guy. He's 6'5". He's a freak, but he's not somebody that's going to be taking the top off of a defense. He's not a Jerry Rice with a deceptive way of running routes that gets behind. That is not what this guy is. So
thank you, Mr. Crump.
I don't see any of that.
Thank you for just saying it succinctly. Up top, gotta have it. Your passing game does not work without it. Everything you saw from the Raiders last year, what was it all? Intermediate underneath.
Correct. Bowers. Use the hell out of Bowers.
We did not have an up-top game last year. And, of course, defenses just sat and waited for us. Right? They just teed off on our quarterbacks. Why? Because you have no up-top game.
Right.
Kelly knows. I think Kelly knows. You got to have it.
Yeah.
We just don't have a choice. Now, I want to quickly go to the defensive in the remaining time I have, Mr. Crumb.
Yeah, hold on. We got to get through these real quick. We got Death Pile Picker says, Miss Peggy, what do you think about Keenan Allen in Chip's offense? Or do you
32 years old. 32 years old. Wait a minute. A permanent member of the Kaiser Permanente Club, right? 6 seasons he's missed 4 or more games due to injury. Right. And the same with Mike Williams, who's also on that list, right? And let me caution you about Chris Godwin, another member of the frequent Flyers Club at Kaiser Permanente. Right. The problem with Chris, he's that numbered, who I've really liked, by the way, over the years. The problem is, it's deceptive because he's got Mike Evans on the other side. Right. Mike Evans is the one that draws the double coverage off of him.
The man's never, ever had less than 1,000 yards in a season. He's just an amazing
It's
talent.
very deceptive as to how good Godwin really is between the injuries and being single covered. Okay? And I remember there was a guy that, I don't know whether people remember, football is close to my heart, so I'm always pulling up anecdote. There was a guy that played next to named Alvin, and I'm going to call his last name. He played on the other side of Michael Irvin. Okay, everybody was saying
about Alvin. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And everybody thought, great receiver. So he went off in free agency. Somebody paid him a rack of money. Yes. Complete and total bust. Yep. As soon as he was getting the double cover,
didn't go so well.
He didn't have the game. Yeah. That's what I'm afraid will happen with Godwin. Even Amari Cooper's on the list. We got a couple of other old friends on the list.
Exactly.
Nelson Aguilar is on the list. Matt Cobb. But again, true number ones. I might fool with Aguilar, although I'm not going to resist throwing rocks at him. We offered him $12 million to stay with us. Right. He went to New England anyway. You know what he's making this year? 3.7 million. How the mighty have fallen. Should have stayed with us.
Alvin Harper, who you were referring to.
That's who I'm talking about.
Right.
As soon as, that's what I'm afraid about with these wannabe. Well, now, I'm going to throw a name out there, Mr. Crump. How about Hollywood Brown?
Well, yeah, some people like him. I don't know. This goes to Gravy's point, though. A third-round wide receiver ain't going to do nothing. We already have those guys. Get the best in free agency and the draft. Gravy, you always know I rock with a lot. You know what you said.
Really,
right about that.
You got to think of what were we missing in our passing game last year. What does Chip Kelly bring to the table? You got to be thinking on that level. Rookie don't fit in that. Rookie just doesn't fit that scheme. Right. We lost a lot when Davante Adams left, even though people were glad to see him left. But I'm going to tell you one thing. No defensive coordinator right mind went into a game with the Raiders without thinking about Davante Adams. Right. Nobody.
No.
They would be crazy if they did. Right. We need that guy.
Hey,
That's
Dre
what we need.
UZ is in the building. Shout out to Dre. He says T. Higgins. It's a
T's
viable piece.
franchise. T's franchise.
Exactly. They're gonna
He's off
franchise
the
him. They
table.
not
And
gonna
I
let
wouldn't have wanted him anyway. He another getting ready to get his little frequent fly card at Kaiser Permanente. I mean, all these guys, you know, they're in their 30s. You know who else is on the list? DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes, I can't do D-Hop. I mean, like you said, you don't pass the rundown test. He's too old. He's just too old.
I mean, they're either in their 30s or if they're still in their 20s, they're members of the Kaiser Permanente Club. I can't deal with that. I'm going to sign you to a $15 million a year contract and you get hurt the first game, gone for the season. See, that's a risk. If you're already having injury problems before you even get to me, it's like Mike Williams and Keenan Allen.
Yes.
I mean, those guys, why do you think the Chargers still don't have any rings?
Yeah.
Because guys like that could never stay healthy.
Right.
No consistency in their play.
Absolutely
and
right.
What did the coaches say? The best ability is
availability. You are right about that. We're going to move to offense. I got a couple of things from Trap God. This is the last one on offense. Do you see Laube filling that Abdullah spot, playing both special teams and running back? Absolutely not. I don't see Laube being on the team. I never thought Laube was a talent. You know, I never thought he was going to amount to anything, and I could still be wrong. I mean, he's still on the roster, right? Maybe there's something there.
I leave it to Chip to decide. Again, we can't make any final calls on any of these players that were on this team last, except that O-line.
Right.
But because of the instability of coaching systems, they changed offensive coordinators mid-season, for God's sake. I mean, how can you even get a clue? And oh, by the way, the O-line didn't even notice the offensive coordinators changed. They still played
straight trash
football. No run blocking, no pass blocking. I know Chip is going to fix that first.
Right.
He has got to. And it can't be with no rookies, honey. Forget the draft. Okay? It's got to be with already experienced talent. Now let's go to that defense. And I gotta say, did you see they signed Polamalu?
I was just gonna say that real quick. JB, who's gonna be our quarterback? That's what I want to know. We're gonna have to save that one, JB. I appreciate you for coming through, man, and with these questions, man. I love it. Are we drafting a quarterback or bringing one in? I think you're gonna see both. And man, I don't know what you got going on, Miss Peggy, but this one gonna stretch. This show might stretch if you got the time. There's just so much to talk about. Trap Guy, he says, I find it shocking that with all the players needing to be re-signed, the first one is Polamalu. I'm not disappointed. Pete must see something in him. You're absolutely right. I guarantee you Pete sees something in Polamalu. I mean, we all
want to exactly. Health is the first thing, but we need to take a look beyond. We got free agents like Coombs and Epps who didn't play last year,
and Spillane. We got
Spillane. He's probably negotiating hard. I mean, because he knows his value. But that other other linebacker, since Graham is returning, as I predicted, and I already predicted that. I was like, Pete, just re-sign. You bring Graham back, just don't bring Ken Norton Jr. back in the house. Okay? I'll get that USC connection thing going on.
Right.
I mean, as long as you don't bring him back into the house, I'm good.
Yep.
This is the problem. You got a 4-2-5 alignment. That 2 in the middle, that's your anchor.
It's crucial, ain't it? It's so crucial. And people don't understand that. Oh, wow. Death Pile Picker says Denver wants Spillane. Uh-oh.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. They probably tough. It's probably negotiations are getting tough because we know how much Graham's defensive scheme relies on those two middle linebackers.
Yes, it's almost everything.
Me. And quite frankly, we've only had one for the last 2 years.
Yep.
Quiet as it's kept, Diablo might as well not even be there.
Straight trash.
And I think I'm not sure. Maybe you can return him to safety. I don't know, but he sure can't play linebacker. Lord have mercy, no. You have to anticipate as a linebacker. It's your brain that plays when you're a linebacker. Okay, not necessarily your skill set, your brain, your reaction time. We need you to be in that gap. We don't need you to be staring in the backfield while Jonnu Smith blows right by you down the field. You don't even turn your head. Yeah. So we're looking for a linebacker. Can we go to the draft for that, Mr. Crump?
Absolutely. And we can go to free agency because there's rumor that kid Sweat from the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to come this direction.
The thing I'm excited about is now that we got Pete Carroll and Kelly in the house, free agents, their agents are going to pick up the phone. For the first time, they're actually going to pick up the phone when we call.
Right.
Now that they know we're in good hands, we can actually have a serious crack at some of those free agents. Remember when Ndamukong Suh was available back in 2015? Oh my God. And I couldn't believe, and you kept going day to day to day. Why doesn't Reggie go after him? Why doesn't Reggie go after him? And the answer was, he probably didn't even want to talk to us.
At all. Not even a little bit.
And I think that's happened in a lot of situations. Correct. We simply weren't even dealt with. We weren't even on the list of teams that they wanted to go to.
There's no way. Remember they was coming to the Raiders.
Remember when they had this big campaign for Deshaun Jackson, right? Everybody wanted, to go out and protest. We want Deshaun. We want Deshaun. Deshaun didn't want us.
Nope. Not even a little bit. Nope.
You gotta understand how that works. You say you can go to the draft for that linebacker, right?
I think we can get one. I think we can. The defensive side of the ball is good.
Right, and our audience needs to help out because we need smart. Of course, we'd like the whole package. Okay?
Right.
But understand that we may not get to linebacker until a later round. Okay?
Yes.
It's not going to be a first round pick or a second round or even a third round.
Correct.
But we definitely and I heard questions about what about Eigenberg? What about they can't stay healthy.
Nah,
they just can't stay healthy.
He has not done anything for us. I don't even know why he would keep a roster spot. Honestly, if it could bring somebody else in. I
don't know, but the poor thing hasn't been healthy. He's always hurt.
Right.
So it's not even. Now we go to the guy of the moment. We got problems at corner.
I agree. I agree.
From having the problem solved,
right,
to two question marks. I believe you asked a question right up top. How will Jones work that now the AP's out? The answer is Pete knows how to handle. Pete handled the Legion of Boom. 5 walking egos. Wagner. All those guys. Pete gonna know how to handle a Jack Jones. Okay?
Absolutely. I agree. I think you're right. And I'm hoping that solidifies itself. But I even said it last night. Again, I already brought myself to the front of the congregation when it came to Ja'Cory Bennett. But he hasn't stayed healthy. We talk about our guy Hobbs not being healthy. He hasn't stayed healthy either, and he's had one season. You can't hang your hat on one season and say all of a sudden now he's a consistent guy for us that we can have for the next day.
I think we got problems at corner. It might be a free agency fill because Lord knows we don't want to go through another baptism in fire like we did. What was that child's name? Decameron, bless his heart.
Richardson, Decameron Richardson, yeah.
Right?
He'll be around.
I have, and they'll evaluate him too. I just have to give him a middle name since he's a rookie now. Decameron, I never look up. Richardson.
He's just always running. Look like he always late. He's always late.
And I have friends that have played DB in college and even a little pro, and they like, what are they teaching these young guys these days? Why don't they look up?
Yeah.
I said because nobody has taught them that you look at the behavior, the body language of the wide receiver.
Yep.
That tells you when it's time to look up. Okay, but they don't know this thing. They never turn their head. I mean, that could save you a lot of PI calls, won't it?
Absolutely.
I was going for the ball, right? But I think we got a problem at corner.
I do too. It's just I can't speak too much on that until we get into the season. And make sure that Jacorian is right. I gotta shut up. You know what I mean? I was wrong so far, but again, he hasn't stayed healthy a whole season,
second straight season that he's missed 5 or more games. I don't know what to say about that. When you're gonna have your baptism in fire, we get you in the water. But we can't baptize you because you're hurt all the time.
All the time.
It's getting on my nerves. I need corners, obviously, that are healthy.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the other part about frequent injuries. When you finally get back on the field, i.e. Colt Miller, you're not 100%.
Not even close. I
mean, you got to work your way back to, what that level, that sweet spot, right?
Yes.
Where you feeling healthy and strong, that may take half the season, right? After the injury. And, it was like looking at Rodgers. Right. Just because he spent a whole year out don't mean he was ready to play in September. He didn't start getting accurate or anything until during in December, wasn't it? And that's what I'm saying. Pete will know what to do about that.
He will. He absolutely will. I
saw how patient he was with Rashad Penny.
Yes.
And he kept expecting this guy to deliver. Yeah. But like a Kuntz and the Ep, man, they stand on a bubble. Okay? Now, I'm gonna end with one more thing. I'm gonna leave y'all with trade bait. Okay.
Hey, well, you got. So I know we said we wasn't gonna go back to offense, but you got too many people asking, specifically you, what the deal is with our quarterback, and what are we gonna do? Are we gonna draft a quarterback? Are we gonna go pay for a quarterback? I actually have something to say here that should be eye-opening. I mean, it's pretty much already understood, if you will, and I'm assuming everyone is making the same assumption, but y'all know Turf got people in the game, and I can let y'all know that absolutely Matthew Stafford could be a possibility. He definitely.
I love me some Matt Stafford.
Me and you both. He can have whatever money he wants.
Yes, he can.
I'm not giving any picks up for him. Maybe a 4th round, because I think anything in the 3rd round and up is just too invaluable this year. It's just this draft, it is too invaluable for everything other than a quarterback, which is so wild. So
And I'd like to also say to all the people that are very concerned being woken up with night terrors and sweats about the quarterback position, O-line.
Yes, because what good is Matthew Stafford
many-
if you can't hold him up? Can't keep him up.
Exactly. How many years did Joe Gibbs try to teach the NFL it don't matter who your quarterback or your running back is?
Right.
You have a
100%.
Cadillac all-pro O-line, and you can put anybody behind
Anything. You can get any suck. You can get anybody.
You learned none of those lessons. You've forgotten completely about that lesson.
Yeah.
O-line's more important than quarterback.
Yep.
I'm going to go on record by saying just like that.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. You are 100%
How
correct.
many years did Joe Gibbs try to teach y'all that with his hogs?
Right. Man, and them hogs was real. That
And
Redskins
the
line.
awesome number of running backs that he had, the Gerald Riggs of the world.
Yep.
I mean, he resurrected Ernest Barner's career
Yes, he sure did.
after the fumble, right? I
Yep.
mean, so many good, decent running backs came through George Rogers. I mean, just and who remembers Timmy Smith, right?
Yep.
Gone and forgotten, but you remember him because he gained more than 200 yards in a Super Bowl behind the Hogs.
Them hogs in the building.
I mean, quarterback. He resurrected Doug Williams' career.
He did.
Who knew Joe Theismann from Canada?
Right.
Right? And where did he find Mark Rippon at?
There you go.
Anybody know?
JB just hit it right there. He said they have Mark Rippon looking good.
I mean, why
Sure did.
is it people keep talking quarterback?
Right. Right.
No, O-line.
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
I can put a Matt Stafford or a Justin Fields or anybody I want behind an O-line
Bingo.
with some all-pros on it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I don't understand why people aren't paying more attention and spending more time. I'll tell you why. Because they sit up there right now as we speak with their Madden game on. Oh, the 02 Ravens, I got them playing the 1998 Washington Redskins. Click, click, click. Fantasies.
Yep.
That the quarterback is more important than the O-line is a fantasy.
I
It
agree.
is not how championship football is played.
Right.
Okay?
No, not at all.
Anybody that doesn't pay attention to their O-line, you see where they ended up.
End up.
Right?
Absolutely.
Year after year, you see the evidence. That's why I was saying they got PTSD after last year. They were injured along with the quarterbacks too.
Right. Yep.
Stop talking about quarterback. We'll be fine.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
We can
I'm happy
sit-
if the ALC starts. People hate it, but I don't care.
I mean, but we can sit at 6 and still get a decent quarterback.
Yeah, we'll
All
get a
that-
quarterback.
I mean, we could get a quarterback at 6. We don't have to trade nothing. And Lord
Bingo.
knows the Raiders need to keep their picks.
Yes.
We got some holes. Okay?
Major holes to fill. Major
I
holes
mean,
to fill.
who could hear us talking about the wide receivers tonight and not know we got problems?
Yes.
Okay? We got a fine receiver, and we cannot find him in the draft.
No, not this draft.
Yeah.
Not this draft. I don't see the depth that people see for wide receiver. I don't see it.
No, this is a pipe dream. A rookie wide receiver does not meet 3 important credentials, and I've said it over and over and over again. They got to respect you. That means that you draw double coverage.
Yep.
Okay? Just because you lined up, you're going to draw double
Exactly.
coverage. A rookie will
Ain't
not get there.
Ain't doing that.
Okay?
Maybe
It's not
the kid from Ohio State when he comes out, Smith. He's not the
they're
only one.
still not going to. You got to show them.
Right. No, I agree.
that you're dangerous.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
I mean, a defensive coordinator has uses for his personnel. Okay, he got uses for them 5 and them zones and them nickels and dime formation, them two cover twos and cover. He got uses. He's not gonna expend personnel on a rookie receiver until you give him a reason.
Right. No, absolutely right. And Death Pile Picker just hit it on the head here too. Even Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. And it's funny you say that because my actual real quarterback from JUCO went to Michigan State, first quarterback picked in the 1996 draft. Tony Banks won that very same Super Bowl sitting behind Trent Dilfer. So
they just don't understand what it takes. All you need is a good O-line and a good defense.
I agree. Now that I have been preaching for the longest. I've always said that you're not beating Mahomes by beating Mahomes. You're going to beat Mahomes by keeping the ball away from him with your defense and a decent offense that knows how to run the ball and control the clock. That's how you're going to beat Mahomes. You're not going to beat him tit for tat.
I mean, how many games have we seen? Well, I watch a lot of football. I have like 4 TV sets, I have to confess. I have 4 big screen sets in my TV room.
Right.
And I have 2 games on each of those sets. So at any given time, I'm always watching about at least 8 games.
Right.
So what happened? And I've been doing it for almost 40 years. Okay.
Right.
So what happens? You look at a guy like Joe Gibbs, the way it was systematic, and Pete does the same thing. He wears you down. Something that the Lamar Jackson show in the Baltimore Ravens still don't get it. Why do you have a Derrick Henry to wear a defense down?
They hate it.
No, because they want everything to be. They want everything to be the Madden game, right? Oh, my quarterback just ran a 40-yard touchdown. click. No, you have a Derrick Henry. You have a John Riggins to grind.
Yes, bingo.
It's strategic. By the 4th quarter, they ain't gonna have the strength to stop you, even if
at all. I agree.
You can have your way with them.
100%. 100%.
And I'm talking about have your way. Ain't the 4th quarter where games won or lost? Last time I looked, Mr. Crump.
Yep.
4th quarter is when games are won or lost.
Right.
You want them not to be able to put up a fight. That's what I saw all the great coaches do. By the 4th quarter, you couldn't even put up a fight. If you were putting up a fight, you were calling on energy reserves you didn't know you had.
Exactly right. No, you're exactly right.
They had worn you down with them little 2 and 3 yard runs, pound. The Earl Campbells of the world.
Oh, man. One of my favorite running backs of all time.
Earl, when you see some of them NFL film runs, those runs were in the 4th quarter.
Correct.
3rd and 4th quarter, when that defense is like, uncle.
They done.
We're done. And that's when you win championships as well. And this is strategy Pete doesn't. Pete gets that.
Oh, 100%.
Remember Marshawn Lynch in that Super Bowl where they made that error and, threw the interception. But before that, it was 4th quarter, wasn't it? They were running Marshawn Lynch down New England's throat. And that's why you have a bruising, follow your block, a runner. Pete likes that. It may give Zamir a reprieve, right?
Yeah.
Or he may go out and find that kind of bruising back. The John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynch, grind you down.
Yep.
Right? That's the purpose of doing that kind of football, and you need an O-line to get that done.
You do. 100%. 100%.
I can have AOC at quarterback. He can just hand off.
There you go. Exactly. I got to shout out my guy, man. Spence is in the building, man. Title Town Sports Talk. I'm all in on Williams. And that Williams he's talking about is Savion Williams. Big guy that runs a very low 4.5 40 that is probably going to make some serious noise. There are so many runners. I'm doing a running back show. I'm doing a running back show. I'm guaranteed doing this. It's just too many of them. I can't wait to just show how there's one. There's so many. There's so many.
Which is great for the Raiders. That means we can fall back to 4th and 5th round and still get us some gems.
We can get undrafted. We are going to be able to get undrafted free agents at running back out of college. I'm telling y'all, it's so many of them, it's impossible for them to be picked.
I'm happy, but now I know we all state now. We got the good hands, people. Okay?
Yes.
We are with subject matter experts, people with ability to see talent.
Yes, I agree.
And that means they will see it among our present and future players.
Yes.
They will be able to see it along those networks of undrafted free agents. They'll be able to see it on film. Okay?
Yep.
They know what they're looking for. The qualities that they're looking for. Man, we haven't had a coaching staff like this since Tom Flores left.
Yes. No, you are not wrong. You are not wrong at all.
I mean, especially under Madden, I mean, those guys, the perfection in how they use those running backs, Hubbard, Davis, right, Van Egan, they knew when to use them.
Yes.
Okay?
No, absolutely.
They knew when it was time to throw Davis. The poor little Vikings, they didn't even know what hit. They got hit by a Mack truck, and they didn't even know why.
Yes.
It was genius use of the running backs against that purple people eater game.
Yes.
Just warm out.
Speaking of the purple people eaters, JB brought up that they've started phasing out the fullback position. I think it's coming back a little bit, though. I honestly do.
It's just been renamed. It's another, Mr. Crump, I think you're right. It's just coming back as an H-back.
Right. True.
Or an extra tight end.
Right. True. Absolutely. But some teams, the purple people eaters, my son was fortunate enough this weekend at University of Minnesota to get a picture with C.J. Ham. He was the Walter Payton Award nominee in 2024, and he is still very much a part of that offense, and you clearly saw what that offense did this year. So, I mean, some people are using the fullback, and you're going to see him out there. It's just it's going to be teams that know how to use them. I could see us getting a fullback. I could see Chip getting somebody there for those specifics that you've just been talking about as far as being able to run the ball, because that was something we clearly have not been capable of doing.
Well, it's the creativity, Mr. Crump, as well.
Right. No,
we just reimagined the running game as using a fullback. I mentioned the H-back and that extra tight end. Okay, right. Chip could actually rotate and put somebody, all three, in that extra one slot.
Yes.
Or he could really fool them and put two people out there and H-backing them and send one of them in motion.
Right.
I mean, we haven't even begun to talk about how critical motion is, right? For
especially with our tight ends and everything that we're going to have going on. It's going to be weird.
It was just so incredible, the dearth of motion with McDaniels, whenever you see an offense where people are not moving, somebody don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. Bingo.
Right?
You are 100% correct. 100%. You have to. You have to get
Motion tells you so much about what the defense is doing.
100%.
I mean, I was just astonished. I mean, what you can't even imagine an offense where you're sending somebody in motion, you're moving him from one side of the field to the other, changing the guy who's covering him.
Exactly. Duh!
That's the other reason for motion, but
creating major mismatches.
I mean, come on. I believe we're in good hands now, and this is my last little thing. There's one more person I want to drug and kidnap. That boy Addison up in Minnesota.
Hey, I wish. Yeah, I did.
I want him to wake up and he's in a Raider locker room with his name on the locker. How did I get here?
Man, I wish.
I mean, I had my little fantasies too.
Right.
And I am fantasizing about taking somebody else's number one wide receiver.
Right.
How about that?
I would be all for it.
I mean, we certainly got the cash for it, right?
They're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to pay Jamar Chase. I mean, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
They franchised T. Higgins. Right. Not that I really wanted him, because once again we got the dilemma with the number 2 receiver when your number 1 is that good.
Right.
You're being deceived about how good your number 2 is.
Right.
When somebody else is always drawing in double coverage. Yep. And I've seen T drop some balls and play sloppy in some games. T don't give you 100%.
I would agree with that. I'm not going to even sit here and lie. And he's injured. He's always injured too. He's always got an injury.
I'm glad they did franchise him and take him off the table so people wouldn't be, let's get T. Right. That pretty much. Plus, he wants a rack of money, doesn't he? Like 15, 20 million.
He's going to get it because he's worth it. Just the honest truth. I think he's worth it.
I don't really know that, but I know that he's a powerful threat and something that helps Burrow out a lot.
Right.
But again, if I'm talking about, people, before the show, and I heard the bad news that they re-signed Shakir.
Yeah.
Buffalo. I wanted to kidnap him too. See, we need to be on the lookout for those guys.
Right.
Those up-and-coming guys. Of course, the Rams might be offering us Nakua. I mean,
well, I know. You know who they're offering.
House out there.
You know who they're offering. No, they're already offering Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but I don't want Cooper.
I don't want him either because he's not a guy that can stretch the field. He's not. Yeah, he's not gonna. Exactly. We already have Cooper Kupp. We
already have Cooper Kupp, but I'm more interested in Nakua.
Right.
I bet you they are too.
Yes.
See, I'm on the lookout for a guy like that, rather than drafting a wide receiver in the draft. It's not going to do us any good.
Right. Okay? No, I agree. I totally agree.
All right, Mr. Crump, I got to get out of here. So much work to do. And as usual, I love my visit, and thank you, everybody out there, so much. Keep tuning in to Mr. Crump. He's the real deal. Okay?
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.
And you'll see me soon. I'm gonna, slither on in here sometime in about the next couple of weeks and ask you to be on your show. Okay?
You already know. You don't even need to ask. You just let us know. You let us and the fans know when you're gonna be on, because we gonna have you on. We love rocking with you, Miss Peggy. I promise.
All righty.
And I love you all night.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Shout out to Miss Peggy. Shout out to Miss Peggy. Hey, y'all got so much going on, man. I can't stop the show right now. I can't stop the show. I have to address some of these situations. A death pile picker. Go check out the kid from Texas Tech. You talking about a bowling ball for a running back? Go check out the running back that's coming out from Texas Tech. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised about that. JB, you got so much good questions, man. I'd want to talk about each and every one of them. I'm just going to touch on a couple of them, especially the running back ones. You asked, what do y'all think about McCullough, the running back coach that we took from Notre Dame, who is your favorite team? Shout out to my main man, Leo. You know, Leo's team, he's always been Notre Dame. I felt bad for him when I was rocking with him, hoping they win it, but didn't work out. Hey, we absolutely adore your coach. He's spot on as far as Death Pile saying, hey, he's dope. And we're keeping Mayer, another fighting Irish guy. I mean, you can't be bad at it, man. Absolutely. And I think they're going to really change the game for us eventually down the line, especially if he can get, the running backs that he can coach. And if our line, the bottom line is if our line shapes up, that, it is what it is, man. There's no way we won't be formidable when it comes to whatever we put back there. We don't have a lot, but we have enough if we can get an offensive line. So Mosa Raider was in the building asking about quarterbacks. I already touched on that, right? I absolutely touched on that, and I'll touch on it again because I do have some information on that. Like I said, it's absolutely for sure that we were talking to Mr. Stafford here. And like I said, I'll give him all the money he wants. Shout out to Mike Lee. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Yeah, I think, and what I want to have happen as far as quarterback is concerned, this is my utopia. Pay Matthew Stafford whatever he wants. Nothing higher than the 4th pick. I don't want to give any picks. You know what I mean? Maybe a 3rd next year, right? Nothing this year. This draft is too important. And in fact, I'm okay with trading back. I'm okay with trading back to get more picks for this draft because the talent is just out of order. Wait till y'all see this show. I'm absolutely putting on the show for all the running backs. I'm doing that with Rundown. I'm dragging Rundown in the building with me. We are going to do a running back show, and it is going to blow your socks off. I promise, because I don't think y'all really understand when I say there are a lot of quarterbacks. I mean an awful lot. And we're talking, I can think of 15 to 20 guys that are running under 4.4. And I'm not talking 4.39. I'm talking 4.37, 4.35. There are some low 4.3s. Wait till y'all hear this running back crew that's coming through this draft. And not all of them are going to get drafted. It's impossible. There's just too much. It's too much going on. So Mikey, my utopia is we give Matthew Stafford whatever he wants. Whatever he wants, money-wise, right? And then we go get a quarterback in the draft. We're absolutely going to get a quarterback in the draft. We're getting rid of Minshew. I believe we could keep AOC. It's a biased thought. It's a biased thought because I'm an AOC fan. Everybody knows I'm an AOC fan. Always have, always will be. I rock with my guy, man. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I get it. It just hasn't worked out. He's got a mobility issue. I understand. You need somebody that can move. That's just a reality. It's a reality we're dealing with. So I'm okay with it. I just don't want to trade up for a quarterback. That would make me angry. I'm not gonna lie. I would not be happy with that at all. Not even a little bit. But as long as they keep picks, that don't go past the 5th round, I think you're gonna get I think you possibly can get Pro Bowlers in the third round this year. That's really my honest true thoughts, man. It it is what it is. Shout out to Champ. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Tom Brady should just play quarterback for the Raiders. I wouldn't have been mad at it. He's the most cerebral player probably of all time. That's why he's the greatest. Had no talent if you want to look at it from that respect. No arm talent. Definitely can't run. Yeah. He's the greatest for a reason, man. He's absolutely the greatest for a reason. So it is what it is. Hopefully y'all been hitting that thumbs up. And please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate it here at the Ultimate Raider Fan 32. And not only me, because as y'all know, Thursday is right around the corner, man. And Thursday is Dead in the Water with your boy Turf and Spence. Shout out to Spence. He is absolutely in the building. That is Titletown Sports Talk. Please go get my man subscribed to. We need him to get over that threshold so he can start, participating with the streaming and so forth on his channel. I can't stress enough, man. You guys are absolutely going to love Spence if you don't already. The guy's takes is his knowledge in sports second to none. I love kicking it with him when it comes to anything sports related. Hence why we decided to do Dead in the Water, not just football, although it's hard not to talk about nothing but football. It's just what we do, man. It's what we do. But we do get in basketball. I mean, he is a wealth of knowledge for basketball. I mean, I think that's his thing. I don't know if he'll admit it, but he might actually like basketball more than football from that respect. He's from Boston. I know. Don't hold it against him. I mean, hey, the name speaks for itself. They got titles. Titletown it is, right? Let's keep it a bean. You want to talk about the Patriots, the Celtics, and that's where he's from. He's not one of those, fair weather guy that grew up in, Jersey. And yeah, that's not what it is. So yeah, please definitely go check him out. Like and subscribe there. We will be on Thursday night, 8 o'clock sharp. Not sure what game we're going to watch. But yeah, we'll definitely get that popping. Raider Nation, Jason is in the building. Turf, the legend. Hey, my guy, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. I need you on the show, brother. Real talk. It's been too long. Obviously, if you paying attention to Turf, man, I've been all over the place. I've been damn near to every Big Ten school in the Big Ten. I've been fortunate to hit up Ohio State. Got with my guy Chris, PTS. He got me completely drunk. It was unfair. Great time, though. Can't wait to go back to Ohio State. Ladies and gentlemen, Columbus, Ohio is different. And I say that in a great way. I couldn't have enjoyed myself anymore. I needed to go home when I did because I had to get up and had a full day. So it all worked out well. But I'm just letting y'all know, man, I adore Columbus, considering. So shout out to the people of Columbus, showing your boy Turf a good time. Ohio State is just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The horseshoe, their gymnastics and the facilities. It's Ohio State, ladies and gentlemen. It is the creme de la creme of this country. There's no other school better. Let's keep it a bean, right? I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Chris. They definitely dropped him a couple of times or what have you, because, yeah, this man, he's from Columbus. How do you not rock with Ohio State? He's a Michigan fan. So it is what it is. He cut against the grain. Y'all know how Chris get down. But that's my guy, man. He showed me. He wouldn't let me pay for nothing. Dude, that is my dog. I'm just letting y'all know. Chris, just outstanding individual, man. And I appreciate the love, the hospitality, all that good stuff. Mikey Clenite. Am I saying that right? Clenite? Man, I appreciate you, bro. I'm a Vikings fan, but you have a solid channel. Keep doing your thing. Please name your Mount Rushmore of Raiders. Wow. That's a great question. And man, it's hard to answer. Are we talking running backs, just top 4 in general? That's a tough one. But as you know, Marcus Allen is my guy. Shout out to Marcus. Man, very excited. I got to meet him on a couple of occasions. And the coolest thing about it, man, he was more excited to talk to me about jiu-jitsu than I could get out of him as far as, his adventures in the NFL and things to that nature. Such a cool guy. You know how it goes. You meet your heroes and all of that. And sometimes it doesn't work out. It was the exact opposite for me. Another just outstanding individual for that respect. Really took the time to, kick it with me. He could have just signed and did his thing and moved along. This man started talking to his guys, bringing them into the equation. I mean, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So, can't stress enough, man. Now, when it comes to my Mount Rushmore, look, I'm going to put it like this. It's definitely going to be Marcus Allen at the top. Marcus Allen at the top. Jack Tatum. I mean, the epitome of defense. I mean, the epitome of putting fear in a man's, you know what I'm saying? It's Jack Tatum. I mean, the name speaks for itself from that respect. So, yeah. I mean, how can you not say Bo Jackson? How can you not say Bo Jackson? It's so hard, man. This is really, really hard for me because Mount Rushmore is only 4. It's too many of them, man, because last but not least, it's the great Charles Woodson, man. Michigan grad. That's Chris's guy. I mean, how do you not rock with Charles Woodson? I mean, there's so many others, man, but that would be Turf's Mount Rushmore. Hold on. I know. I got some issues here. My camera. We're going to get that fixed real quick right now. There you go. So, yeah, that would be my Mount Rushmore, if you will. Hopefully that'll, that does it. It could be a whole different. Marcus Allen will always be one of those 4. I'll put it to you that way because there's just too many of them, man. I mean, another guy that I've ran into and met on several occasions who wasn't even, like one of those all-time greats, if you will, but at running back, man. Oh boy, man, he's always around. Darren McFadden. Bro, again, one of the nicest guys that you'll ever meet out. He takes time with the fans. Just a cool cat, man. Just a real cool cat. And, I've been fortunate. I've been very, very fortunate when it comes to, meeting Raiders and they not being, jerks. Just straight up, keep it a bean. I got pictures with Tim Brown. I mean, any of them, you name it. I got pictures with him, chopped it up with him. Yeah, I am ecstatic. You know what I'm saying? Being a Raider fan. Yeah, Tim Brown. Yeah, Tim Brown. He's another one that it's him and Woodson. Like, that's, the juggle for me, man. Snake, right? It's so many, man, but that's a fabulous question. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. We got Queen Raider Red in the building. Shout out to my girlie, Queen Raider Red. I need you on the show. There's so many people I need on the show, man. All of you, there's a lot of you that have already been on the show. Can't wait to get you back on the show. Jeff, you need to come on the show, right? I'm starting to line it up too because, it's that time. It's off season. I love chopping it up with a lot of y'all content creators and just Raider fans in general. I mean, it's what I do. It's what I love doing. It don't feel like a job in any way, shape, or form, man. And as you can see, I've already gone over my time drastically this show. I just can't help. It's so much to talk about. It's so much to talk about. But yeah, with that being said, we are definitely going to turn out the lights. You know, we're leaving it at that. Man, I can't thank y'all enough. This was an outstanding show. Thursday, you got Dead in the Water, man. Dead in the Water. That's at 8 o'clock. I don't know what game we'll watch. Maybe y'all can start picking what game we watch as we, chop it up. Man, we'll start doing a little bit more interacting from that respect. But yeah, tune in. Fridays, you already know. Turf and Rundown, we haven't had that show in a long time. But we still keep it popping. Thank you, Jeff. Right? Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Chris for Raiders. The other Chris for Raiders out in California. I can't wait to have him on the Ultimate Raider Fan 32 show. It's just so much going on. I'm always all over the place. I'll be in Dallas. I'll be in Washington, D.C. this weekend. Shout out to them GGs, them Gopher girlies. They're going to stomp a mud hole in three teams out of the Big Ten. I believe it's Illinois, Maryland, and who is that last one? I forget it. It doesn't matter. But yeah, we coming to win. We coming to win. We are at University of Maryland. It should be a blast. I got a ton of family coming for that. And I already know my girlie's going to show out. She ready. It's about time she stick one of these bar or vault routines and snatch that 10 for the first time in her career as a freshman. Already got titles as far as, bars and trying to break into that floor routine. But yeah, as you know, man, I'm all over the place. My guy, Angelo, I promise, man. I know I keep saying it, but you see what's going on, man. You see, Rutgers too, Death Bow. You see what's going on, man. Turf, watch Better Be Even Be Ball on Thursday with Spence for Dead in the Water. That actually is a hell of an idea. That's actually a hell of an idea. And a little secret, I actually watched that already, Angelo. You already knew I had to watch that. I'm biased though. Scully's my guy. I don't know if he's like formally an assistant trainer, but he's been in their camp since day one. Better Babe is his guy. He rants and raves about him and absolutely should, So, but yeah, man, this was a great show. As always, I hope y'all were entertained because I was. I mean, there's so many questions I couldn't get to. I apologize, man. It's hard, man. It's hard getting everything. But yeah, I will try to do that the next time. But until then, Raider Nation, Turf is out. I will see y'all on Thursday. Peace.
Let's go, baby. We all the way on the fourth row, baby. You look good in that silver and black. Talk about the game, so I'll be handing out cards and everything. I'll be at every Raider game. So.